Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. How are you? Hey, I haven't talked to you guys in a long, long time. And I'm sitting here bored and I want to talk about this Trayvon Martin stuff and the thoughts that it has inspired in me. Okay? So let me talk to y'all for a minute. Okay? Um, this whole fiasco, the Facebook pictures, some of them are funny, some of them are like, serious, and so many people are making statuses and videos and all that kind of stuff about it. And as I'm thinking about, at first I was like, I was on the bandwagon and I was like, yeah, this is unjust, and I still think it's unjust and I think it's unfair. But in the process of thinking about that stuff, in the process of thinking about the case, a lot of different stuff came to my mind as well. Okay? One of the things is how black people are so, I don't know, like their mentality is so warped. And when I say black people, I'm generalizing. Of course, we know that everyone is not like this, da 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 da. But everybody is up in arms about this. But when it comes to, because this teenage boy was unjustly murdered by a white man, everybody is just promoting it and just get it out there, calling to action and all this kind of stuff. But you see black on black crimes all the time, or some unjust shit happen in the black community, and there is no outrage. There is nothing. There is like this unspoken rule not to snitch, not to talk about it, not to do you know how many times I've heard the story of from an African American girl who was molested by her father, her stepdad, or some guy in the family, and her mother didn't believe her and didn't make a big issue about it? Do you know how many times? I remember when I was younger, my mom is an addict. I talk about that on my in this video. I'm gonna link it right there. My mom is an addict, and I remember seeing the drug dealers talking about the Rodney King case in '92 when I was young, and I used to be like, "What? You're talking about all this? The white man got me down shit, but you selling my mama drugs, letting her spend her money on our rent was for our rent, but she's spending her drugs on money on your drugs. Now you don't have no responsibility on that, but the fact that you can be up in arms about this and care so much about this, but be selling my mother drugs at the same time, I didn't understand that. And this Trayvon Martin thing is making me think about stuff like that. I think if we took the same energy that we have about this case and put it towards the school systems, the unfair, balance of funding for our districts, predominantly black districts, put the energy in that. There's so many injustices that's going on in that. And I don't hear people talking about it with the same, ferocity as the Trayvon Martin case in Florida. Not undermining or belittling the seriousness of that case. It is serious and very unjust and needs to be dealt with. But we need to get our mind right and think about all the things and put your energy just like you doing stuff like this. Now, let me. I don't want to make this about LGBT, but stuff like this has been happening to our community forever. When one of us get, jumped and blah, 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 it's popular in our community, but it's not popular everywhere. It's like, oh, it's nothing. You guys are not wearing hoodies and doing all that stuff for our people. So, doing pictures and hoodies and holding up Skittles or whatever the issue is. You guys don't care about our injustices. It's turned into jokes on World Star Hip Hop with all the comments. Well, yeah, I would have jumped that fag too. It's nothing, big to rally around, even though it's just as unjust. People don't even care about anything until they see it on their timeline, until their group is talking about it. Maybe you did not know about it, but some things you just find out, okay? And you just, that's when you talk about it and you're outraged. But are you consistently looking for cases that have this same unjust feel about them, no matter what? No matter what. Are you even looking for that? Or are you just talking about it because everybody else is talking about it? Are you just outraged because everybody else is outraged? Just sharing your opinion because everybody else is just talking about it. If you're truly outraged, then you will get into some type of activism and make sure that this doesn't happen around the country to anybody. Black, white, Asian, Iraqi, whoever is unjustly treated wrong by the government, by the justice system, by the community, or whoever, you should be actively searching for these cases so you can be outraged by those too, not just the ones you see on your timeline. This happened with Troy, the one that got executed. Now it's Trayvon. I'm sure it's going to be something else. You should be outraged by everything and searching and being active and being conscious about your community through the whole thing. I think that's a part of getting your mind in check, I search for trans stuff all the time because that's what I do. I want to share our stories and blah, blah, blah. I search for stuff all the time. I find it. Sometimes I happen on it. Sometimes I'm searching for it because I want people to see the outrage that I feel all the time, not just because it pops up and everybody's talking about it. Tell me what you guys think. Do you feel that there is a disconnect in the community? Do you feel there's a disconnect? A blind eye being turned to certain things, but then an outrage being just set forth on another thing when both of them are unjust. Do you guys see that too? I just see that so many times. I see people, just doing so many negative things in our own community, and we don't get this kind of response. Tell me what you think. This is your girl, Diamond. Bye-bye.